This is some black poison I already panned out from the Flower Gold Wizard. You see a piece of gold in there. Instead of panning it over again, which I'll have to do anyway, I'm going to run this through there and see what happens. Decrease the water flow a little bit and see what happens. Running some black poison through the homemade cleanup sluice. Got a little bit of soap in there this time. See how it goes. I'm going to decrease the water a little bit. I've already ran a little bit in the beginning. I had the water low, you know, so I'm going to turn it back down just a little bit. And I'm mainly just going to watch how it holds on to those black sands. Kind of kick these little stones around. I'm watching to see how these clear out. See if it leaves any seats on the bus. Remember me saying that in my other video? If they stay full and they're not moving around too much, then I'm going to increase the water a little bit. I see it is hanging on to a little bit of gold there, but I'm just going to watch it here for a minute. They look pretty full, so I'm going to turn it back up a little bit, just slightly. Since we're just experimenting, I feel safe in turning this ball valve up and down, and we're catching all the gold. Got another pan underneath there, so. But you don't want to decrease and increase your flow of water usually in a sluice or in a cleanup sluice or anything, in a dredge or anything. You want to keep it constant until you're ready to shut down. Because if you don't, if you decrease it, the gold will settle a little differently. When you give it that shot of water again, it might force some of the gold out, and not only might it, but it does. So I'm just gonna run this for a little bit and play with it and keep watching how everything's exchanging, mess around with the water level a little bit, and try to figure out this black poison on this thing. So what it's looking like to me is I actually got to run the water a little faster than what I first thought. You know, you think everything's very fine, the black sand, the gold is, you gotta run it real slow, but I don't think that's the case. I've been watching how everything's working in there, and at first I turned it down and nothing was doing anything in there. There wasn't any seats on the bus, so I turned it up a little more and a little more, and I think I got it pretty good right now. I mean, there's space. I know that you can't see it, but there's space in those drops in the deep V there. So, and I'm starting to see more of the gold show up that is in there. I mean, a couple pieces have made it down a little bit further, but I think I'm gonna get a better recovery running it a little bit faster, just so there is places for the gold to sit down in. The vortex down there seems to be running really good. Everything's exchanging really nice, so I'm going to leave it just like this. And then I'm going to run the rest of it. And then what I'll do is I'll pull that pan out that's catching everything and then run that again. First I'll take a look at it and see if there's any gold in it. But then I'll run it again and catch all the tailings from it and see if we lost any gold again. And you know, because I did start off with it slow and I ran, I don't know, maybe a quarter of it. So I want to do a real test at one speed and see what happens. Okay, that's the plan, man. Okay, I got all that run through there. I know you can't see the gold, but I can see the gold in there. I'm just waiting for it to clean out a little bit more in here. It kind of builds up right there a little bit and then slowly runs out, which I don't mind at all, because it just kind of trickles over and it does its thing. It's pretty nice. But the longer I sit here and let this run without adding any more material, I'm just starting to see more and more gold. So I'm going to let it run here for a little bit longer until I don't think it's exchanging anymore, and then we'll see what we lost in the pan, and then maybe pan this out at the end and see how much gold we get out of it. Okay, let's shut it off. See what it looks like. I think I might have run it a little too long. I don't know. I was seeing a little bit more gold down here further in the box than I am now. But it might have just sat down in there a little better. Everything has cleared out, so I mean, not completely cleared out, but pretty good. Plenty of room in there for it, so I'm not real worried. I'm going to start it off now. Get a better look at it. Yeah, let me bring you in a little closer so you can look and see what's in there. You can almost see it from here. Okay, hang on. See it in there? Good bit of gold. Couple pieces down in there. Alright. First I'm going to take a look at the pan that's back under here. See how much gold's in there. Bunch of black sand. Okay, let's see how much gold we lost in there. I'll be right back to show you in a minute. Okay, here's a little piece of video that should have went at the end of the video, but I had already said my goodbyes in the other bit that I recorded for the end, so I'll just stuff this right in the middle. But anyway, like I said, I was going to rerun all that black poison through there with a little bit increased water flow to see if I could get rid of any more black sands and not lose any gold still. So what I did is I marked the spot where the ball valve handle is. See, there's my ball valve. And I marked it right about halfway through the handle. Hopefully you can tell what I mean there. There's the handle. And I just put that red mark right in the middle of it. So what I did when I reran it, I just turned this up to about 3/4, about right there. And that was just a little bit too much water because I didn't really reduce the amount of black sands, but I did miss 4 or 5 specks of gold when I reran it like that. So now I know that water really does matter. I mean, just that little bit of difference in flow really does matter. That it was moving around a little too much in the box. The sands weren't sitting the way they should have. So we lost a little bit of gold there. So now I know that halfway on that handle, right where that red line is black poison. Okay, back to the original video. Well, you're not going to believe it, but I didn't find one speck, not one, in the tailings from that black poison. I can't believe it either, but I didn't find one speck in there, not one. So let's hung on to it all. The key is, I guess, to leave that water up a little bit higher than what I thought. Just make sure everything is exchanging in there, and yeah, worked pretty good. I'm really liking this little setup right here. I got one little leak right in here, just drips a little. I'll fix that sometime. Get these edges smoothed down. I just had to run it first before I prettied it up. Yeah, I really like it though. So what I'll do now is I'm going to put all this right back in with that. I'm going to try to remember right where this was. Maybe mark it with a magic marker or something on there. And then next time when I run it, I will increase the water flow just a little bit and see if that makes a difference. Maybe I can get rid of... See, the only reason I want to do that, you know, you might think, well, why would you want to do that if you hung on to all the gold? Because maybe I can minimize some of this black sand in here, get rid of a little bit more of that, and still retain all the gold. We'll give that a try, though. Thanks for stopping in and sticking around. It was fun seeing a little more gold and testing this little machine out again. I'm going to get her all cleaned up and ground off the edges. They're not real sharp. I touched them up a little bit. They need a little bit more, but I'll see you on the next one. Don't know what we're going to do. We'll do something. All right. Remember, as always, have fun.